Anyone can point out a problem and guess at a fix. But merely proposing a solution is not an academic exercise. True academic writing demands a rigorous, objective evaluation of how effectively that solution will actually work. To achieve this, you need a four-part framework. First, contextualize the problem. Second, analyze its severity. Third, propose solutions. Fourth, critically evaluate them. We will use these four pieces to build a perfect academic paragraph, removing the guesswork from your drafting process. Following this rigid structure forces you to rely on evidence rather than emotion. It grounds your writing, turning a subjective wish list into an objective, defensible argument. Let's start with the first half of the paragraph, establishing the problem. Saying the digital divide is bad is an observation, not an academic context. A strong topic sentence specifies exactly who is affected, where, and under what conditions. Next, you have to prove the problem matters. We do this by adding a sentence that cites specific evidence of its impact. For example, data showing the exact widening gap in educational outcomes. Now we propose our fix, using specific academic verbs like address, overcome, or mitigate, signals the pivot, showing exactly how your proposal interacts with the problem. Setting up the severity of the issue and offering a clear fix is essential, but it is only the setup. The most critical part of your essay is what comes next, the evaluation. Evaluating a solution means measuring it against objective criteria, not your personal feelings. You need to ask, is this cost-effective? Is it culturally acceptable? What are the potential negative side effects? When you write down this evaluation, you have to avoid absolute claims. You do this by using hedging language, tentative structures starting with it or there that soften your stance. Look at this example. This will fix the problem. That is a definitive claim. It is almost impossible to prove, which makes it an easy target for criticism. Now look at the rewrite. While it may be true that this incurs high costs, there is little doubt that it provides a long-term resolution. These hedging phrases acknowledge the complexity of the real world. By stepping back from absolute certainty, you actually strengthen your position. Hedging transforms an unsupported opinion into a nuanced, academically defensible stance. Now it is your turn to apply this. Pause the video, write one sentence proposing vegetarian diets as a solution to high global energy consumption. Then write a second sentence evaluating that solution using a hedging phrase from the list on screen. Let's review a model answer. First, the proposal clearly states the action, encouraging a shift toward plant-based diets. Then the evaluation uses the phrase, "it could be argued that," to acknowledge the cultural difficulty while still validating the energy savings. Mastering this specific combination, a direct proposal followed by a hedged, multi-sided evaluation, guarantees that you are demonstrating the critical thinking skills your professors are grading for. This chart shows the difference between the integrated and block essay structures. Once your sentence-level building blocks are solid, you must choose between these two macro structures for your entire essay. Looking at the integrated structure on the left, you can see that each solution is immediately followed by its specific evaluation. You propose a fix, weigh its pros and cons, and then move directly to the next proposed fix. The block structure on the right separates the components. You detail all of your proposed solutions in one section, and then follow up with a separate section that evaluates all of them together. Regardless of the macro structure you choose, the core mechanics remain the same. Frame the severity of the problem, state your proposal clearly, evaluate it using objective criteria, and hedge your claims to maintain an academic tone. Feel free to screenshot this checklist. Mastering this format shifts your role as a writer. You move past merely pointing out real-world issues and begin systematically engineering viable, well-reasoned solutions.